Hello, my name is Corinne Green and I am a senior athletic training student at Florida Gulf Coast University, and today I'll be walking us through a SCAT5 concussion assessment. So basically before you start this assessment at all, you just want to assess the scene of the injury that you have going on. So basically you want to make sure they have circulation, airway, breathing, that they're conscious. Basically those are the main things you want to look out for first. Then you're going to move into your red flags, so things to look for right after the injury happens, which is loss of consciousness, extreme double vision, vomiting, neck pain or tenderness, anything that kind of stands out and makes you think that you should refer right away, seizures, stuff like that. We're going to say in this instance that everything was clear and that there are no red flags, and we can continue with our process. So we're going to go to observable signs. So here we're going to look for how the patient is presented, whether they're laying on their side, standing, walking, whatever that may be. If they are walking, we're going to be looking at balance, gait, just their coordination in general. If they have any other trauma on the outside of their body that we can see. And then we can also do the Glasgow Coma scale from here. So with that, we're going to be looking at eyes, verbal response, and motor response. So if their eyes are spontaneously moving, if they're oriented, and if they're obeying commands, and they have a perfect score on all those, and we can continue on into the SCAT5 assessment. So I'm here again with my patient Cam. And moving on from the first few steps that we did for the SCAT5, we're now on to the Maddox questions. And this is basically just going to see how her memory and consciousness is working right off the bat, make sure she's combative in all of the answers she's giving me, and kind of knows what's going on in the day. So we're going to go ahead and go and start by, what's your name?
Cam.
Cam? Okay, do you know where we're at, Cam?
Yeah, we're at FGCU.
Okay, what sport do you play?
Soccer.
Okay, soccer player. Do you know what today is?
It's Saturday.
It's Saturday. Do you know what team we're playing?
We are playing University of Memphis.
Good. And do you remember the score of the game when you were?
Yeah, it's 2-1.
Okay, cool. So she was able to answer all those questions fine, knew the right answers, so we'll move on from that section. Also, she hasn't reported any cervical spine pain, or any limiting in that range of motion for a cervical neck. Okay, so picking back up where we left off for the SCAT5, we are now moving on to the off-field portion of the exam. This can either be done in the training room, in an empty room, on the sidelines even if you can't get off the field, pretty much anywhere you have space where they can be separated from everything. So the first thing that's going to happen is we're going to get through an athlete background. This is just going to go over where their age, gender, school, sport, if they've had concussions in the past, any history that has to do with any kind of injury, head injury, or something that would be concerning in this matter. We can also talk about medications, allergies, just kind of like the general idea at this point, just so we're all on the same page. Following that is going to become a symptom eval sheet, and this I'm going to print out, hand to her, let her fill it out, and it's going to have a list of things like headache, sensitivity to light, nausea, neck pain, just a bunch of these different options where they're going to rate it from 0 to 6, 6 being the most pain they've ever felt, 0 being nothing. So this is basically going to be used as a baseline, so we can also go back to this later on in the day, and then also later on in treatment, so we can relate it to what they were when they first had the injury. Following that, we move to a cognitive screening where we're going to do orientation first, and this is basically just going to go over more questions like what the day is, what month, just more that they kind of have to really think about and recall. Okay, so moving on from that, we're now going to go into the immediate memory portion of this exam, and with that, we're going to test her memory with using 5 different words. So what's going to happen is I'm going to read these 5 words to you. After we get through all 5 of them, I want you to repeat them back to me, any order you can remember them in, okay? So we're going to go ahead and start. We're going to do sailor, jacket, sunset, lemon, pencil.
Sailor, jacket, sunset, lemon, pencil.
Okay, we're going to do it again.
So sailor, jacket, sunset, lemon, pencil. Sailor, jacket, sunset, lemon, pencil. And one more time just for fun. Sailor, jacket, sunset, lemon, pencil. Sailor, jacket, sunset,
pencil.
Okay, good. So she did good with those. We're going to move on to the numerical portion now, and that's going to be repeating digits backwards. So I'm going to say them forward. She's going to give it to you backwards. It's going to be testing her quick recall for memory. So I'm going to give you an array of numbers. I'm going to give them to you forward. Once I give them to you forward, you're going to read them to me backwards in reverse order, okay? So if I say 1, 2, 3, you're going to say
3, 2, 1.
Okay, so let's go ahead and start. 2, 7, 1.
1, 7, 2.
1, 5, 2.
2, 5, 1.
All right, now so there's going to be 4 numbers. 9, 2, 3, 0.
0, 3, 2, 9.
6, 5, 1, 8.
8, 1, 5, 6.
8, 3, 2, 7.
7, 2, 3, 8.
And then this last one's going to have 5, 7, 1, 2, 9, 6.
6, 9, 2, 1, 7.
Okay, good. So she did perfect on those. So we're not having any recall issues. And the next thing we're going to do is months in reverse order, which some people can't even do normally. So you want to go ahead and give that one a shot?
Yes.
All right, starting with December.
December, November, October, September, August, July, June, May, April, March, February, January.
Good. So she did good. Okay, we will be now moving into the neurological assessment of this exam. We're going to begin with asking our patient if she can read something. That's just going to test her just visual response, I guess you could say. So you see the sign over here? Mm-hmm. Can you go ahead and read that top line for me?
Glass on stainless steel.
Thank you. All right, so be able to do that. Good. Next thing we're going to do is just recheck again, make sure she has no cervical pain. Nothing's either increased since we last checked or has come on. So go ahead and look down for me, and then all the way up, and then all the way to the left, all the way to the other left. Okay, good. No pain, no tightness. Okay, cool. So following this, we're going to move into eye movement. So go ahead and face me, and what I'm going to do is you're just going to follow the tip of my finger, and without moving your head or anything, you're going to go ahead and trace the finger, okay? So I'm approximately a foot and a half away from her eyes. And we're going to do a few of these. I'm looking for any irregular eye movements, making sure they move together, no nystagmus, pupil dilations, anything like that. All right, headache, dizziness, nausea, nothing? Okay. Next thing we're going to do is test. She's going to do the finger to nose test. And so I'm going to have you stand right there with your arms out, fingers up, and you're going to touch one finger to your nose and then the other finger to your nose, and just keep doing that. Okay? Okay. So the next thing we're going to be moving to is tandem gait and our balance test. So tandem gait is 1 foot in front of the other, so like how they'd stand on like a DUI checkpoint. What leg are you dominant with?
Right.
Which leg? Right leg? Mm-hmm. All right, so you're going to have to put your left leg in the back, in front of the other one. There you go. And we're going to go ahead and hands on your hips. I'm going to have you close your eyes and wait there for 20 seconds. I'm going to count how many mistakes she makes, and that can be anything from stepping out of line, taking her hands off her hips, opening her eyes, being extremely unbalanced. Okay, so after that one, we're going to move into the double leg stance. So just go ahead and shoulder width apart. Same thing, go ahead and close your eyes. And I'm looking for the same thing in this situation. I'm going to stand close just in case she falls. You never know. So I'll say 20 seconds went by with that one. Next one I'm going to have you do is the single leg stance. So go ahead and stand on your dominant leg, put the leg up, and same thing. Close your eyes. Yeah. And you always want to make sure you have a baseline of your athletes as early as you can as possible. That way you either know that they are supposed to be extremely balanced or that they are not balanced, and it is not the concussion affecting their balance. So that's good. So we're about wrapping up the SCAT5 exam. one of the last things we're going to do is to recall the 5 words that I had her remember earlier. So, it's a little difficult, but can you remember any of those 5 words that I had you say? Any order?
Sailor, sunset, pencil, jacket, lemon. Do you have lemon? No. Okay. That's all I remember.
Okay, so 4 out of 5, not bad. You want to make sure that you don't tell them that they're going to have to recite these words at the end. That needs to be unknown to them, just to really test their memory of them not really paying attention to something. So with the eval that I've done, with the self-evaluation that she filled out, cognitive screening, neurological screening, memory, everything like that, I'm going to say that there are no clear indications that she does have a concussion. I will tell her that she needs to monitor these symptoms. I'll tell her parents about the next possible step, to watch her for the next few days, make sure they don't see any like mood swings, increasing irritability, if she reports any headache, vomiting, just anything getting worse than what it was before. That's something that's going to be a huge red flag that we're going to need to refer. If not, I'm just going to monitor her. We'll do another screening tomorrow to see where your levels are compared to today, and that'll kind of base off what we're going to do from here, whether you're going to go back into play or doing the 6-day return to play protocol. That'll just kind of ease her back into it. That way we don't disrupt anything if there is something going on up there. Okay? All right. Thanks.